Hello, Illuminaries. Welcome. Take in that sound. You know what that means. The records are now open. Welcome to Akashic Answers with Emily. I am freshly back from a most amazing journey into Mount Shasta and super excited to come on and share some energy, some wisdom, some transmissions with all of you because my vessel is supercharged right now, let's just say, from being on top of the mountain in a highly multi-dimensional space for the last week, and so excited to share with all of you. So please say hello once you get here. If this is the first time that you're joining, also make sure that you let me know you're a first timer. And those of you who come into this space regularly, thank you, and it's good to see you. Make sure to make our first timers feel welcome here in this space. I also want to just invite you, please take a moment, share this out. This is one of the best ways that we can really support each other in growing and calling in new ideas, new insights. Really, everything that we experience or create on this planet comes from ideas. It comes from mentalism. If you have studied the 7 Hermetic principles, you know that the first Hermetic principle is that everything in the planet is mental, right? It can be created, it can be uncreated with just our thoughts. So as you are showing up here in this space, just bringing awareness to the fact that you do the work by sharing this out. You create a container where people can expand their thought space, even if you don't agree with what's coming in. It's not really about that. It's just about finding space, right? For those of you who are new and would like just a quick little background on the Akashic Records, the records are the realm of consciousness where all information exists. Every detail of your past, your present, all possible futures exists in a realm of consciousness that you have the ability to tap into and to get instantaneous soul level information. An interesting thing about the Akashic Records and all this information that it holds is it doesn't hold information from the same perspective that you're experiencing it, because you are incarnating as a human in a third density plane. Therefore, you are going to experience your life, your lessons, the quantum energy through contrast until you move back into unity, and then we're going to begin to learn through joy. You got to be able to hold a very high vibrational frequency within your being to let go of learning through contrast. It's what we're all moving through. I'm glad you're here in this space. This is a space that will begin to cultivate a higher frequency for you. So I'm glad you're here. Another reason why I just say please share out, because the more of us that learn to hold a higher frequency in our bodies for longer periods of time, we just support the rest of the collective opening and expanding and finding space to see ourselves through a different perspective, through a soul level perspective, a neutral perspective, through the God mind. When you view yourself through the God mind and any challenges you have, they look a lot different. That's why this is so important, that we return this technology to the planet, this resource tool that you have to review the challenges of your life, to look into your unique genius. The records allows us to tap higher levels of creativity. So this is a great space for you all to land in with me, and I'm super glad you're here. All right. Also, what we do in this space is dig into the Akash. I bring forward your questions, and so far, I don't see any comments coming in, and sometimes the technology gets a little wonky. So somebody send me a comment. Somebody say hello. Somebody say something, will ya? I'm just flipping different swipe left to reveal comments. Yeah, I'm doing that. All right. So send me through some comments first time. Okay, there we go. Justine. And Shell Baby. That's my cousin, Michelle Crowder. Hello, Shell Baby. There we go. Now I'm seeing them come in. Yes, Pam, I see you. Paul from the Netherlands, I see you. Thank you for being here. Tracy, hi. Lee, hello. Justine, yes. Newbies, awesome. Okay, Kelly in the house. Love seeing you, Kel. Okay, so here's what I would like to invite you all to do. Areas of your life where you have challenge, where you would like higher levels of insight, clarity, healing, anything that would be supportive for you to call in. Hey, my Uncle Kevin's in the house. What's up, Uncle Kevin? So feel free to start typing in the questions. What I'm going to do is ask Source to bring my awareness to questions or areas, challenges that are going to most serve the collective here. Even if you do not get your question personally addressed right now, I want to let you know that the asking of it in this space, in the field of a higher frequency of consciousness, you're going to get answers. It's going to drop in. Whether you have the ability to cultivate the awareness to know this is up to you. Again, being in this space, we'll do a little breath work together too here in just a second to create a collective field for us all to work in and to support us as we go. But if you ask a question in this space and then you notice, hang on a second, Emily said that the answers were going to come and they're not coming. I want you to take a look at your vibrational frequency. Has your vibrational frequency fallen out of an alignment of being in a place of joyful neutrality, which is really important when we're doing this work. Okay, so bring those questions on in. Again, hello, I'm Emily if it's the first time you're joining. I'm the founder director here at the Akashic Academy, and I work with visionaries when they are ready to tap the field of the Akash, or what's known as our Akashic Records. When visionaries and spiritual leaders, thought leaders are ready to tap a higher form of intelligence in order to support their growth and learning and the growth and learning of the collective, they come see me because the Akashic Record just clear all the shit up for you. And I try to be fun and, inject fun voices every now and then. All right, I'm going to grab my iced tea. Justine Ross. You're a newbie in the house, and you're the only person who asked me to ask a question so far. So I'm going to dive in here with you. And again, Justine, thank you for bringing this forward. This is information that is designed for all of you. Clarity and the next steps of stepping out into intuitive readings and healings. Right on. Okay. All right. First of all, I'm getting that you're very visual, that you're clairvoyant, and it's interesting that you talk about just clarity in the next steps. I want you, and what I'm feeling that your guides are really wanting you to focus on, Justine, is to see it, to visualize, and to know that you get to choose how you want your legacy to look. So here's the direction the guides are saying to go. Start with thinking about how you want to hear your client success stories. So basically start tuning in and imagining and building that frequency inside of you, getting excited about that frequency by tuning in that direction. Just, okay, is that feeling good for you? Okay, great. So if you begin to tune in like this, like you're already feeling it, wow, right? The energy builds in a much more exciting way rather than a lot of times we look at ourselves on our human journey, and those of us with growth mindsets and high expectations, we're constantly stretching and wanting to grow and step into something else and something bigger. And oftentimes because we're experiencing through polarity, there is the opposite side of that, which we have to acknowledge, which means that there's some area where we're not perfect as we are, right? And so sometimes that energy combined with any of a million other things we could have experienced in this life that cause us to not feel comfortable getting big, right? So this is the way that most of us are looking at this story about our growth right now. Remember how I talked about we're breaking the cycles of learning through our trauma, learning through our lessons, learning through all this like guttural examination about how we fuck it up. Although it's good, we need that level of course correction, right? But then once we get that down, I want to invite you to flip the paradigm on yourself, flip the story. When you are wanting clarity or to manifest anything in your life, see if you can go in a different direction. So what that means here with Justine, because she wants to expand her impact and how she's showing up in her light worker skills and her healing genius with her clients and doing the intuitive readings, she can go about it by tuning into the ripple effect of the value that she's bringing to the clients and feel into their storylines and that legacy. And then it feels more exciting, more effortless. All right, so let's see. That was a really good one. Thank you so much, Justine, for bringing that forward. Also, just a couple of other pieces. Whatever wisdom that you've been traditionally trained in, like a lot of us who are light workers have traditional training or certifications in some particular areas. What we're seeing now is it's not about necessarily performing our skills in that way or doing our work in that way or teaching people in that way. It's about specifically using that knowledge and helping other people with something very specific that we've worked through ourselves. So depression, I was just had a beautiful day. I see Deb, one of my students, popping in here. I had a beautiful day of back-to-back masterminds along with some VIP one-on-one coaching with all my people. Are just, the medicine they bring through is so profound. Woo! And I was working with one of the most amazing shaman on the planet, medicine woman, today, and we were talking about all of these things, all of these ideas of how our vision is growing and expanding right now, and we're seeing ourselves differently, and we're stepping into new aspects of ourselves. And it requires us to get really vulnerable and raw about what we've transmuted and personally experienced. So, that could look like depression. It could look like going through divorce or relationship transitions. It could look like massive health healing, like a massive physical health healing. It can look like a variety of things. It looks like the trauma that you don't really want to talk about. That's what it looks like. Beautiful. All right, so let me tap in here. Again, guys, get some more questions. I saw a couple questions rolling through. I'm going to go back in and dive in for some more. But I want to bring in an activation. Hello, Drew. I want to bring in an activation that will support everyone as we are calling in and declaring new energy for ourselves, new timelines for ourselves. So let me just see what will be supportive. So really what this is going to take is look at everything differently in your life. That's what Spirit is just bringing forward, is the remembrance to practice and be playful with yourself and examine different aspects of your life through completely different lenses. Okay? Just play with different ways of expressing. All right? Here, just to give you like some examples, ask yourself, how would the most courageous version of me show up and handle this? Okay? All right, so I want to bring in that idea of courage has been really, I want to bring in courage and grace in this activation. So as we're beginning to invite a new way of seeing ourselves in our lives. Oh yeah, thank you for that breath. Yeah, we got to do some physical breath. We'll do that to receive this activation. I'm going to invite you guys now, begin to activate the breath. Get the energy moving in the body. I want you to bring more chi energy into the body, and I want you to release stress by mindfully moving down the body and relaxing from the top of the head, the neck, the shoulders, the back, the hips, the legs, all the way down. Deep breathing. Good. Preparing your body to receive this activation. Follow your breath into the present moment. I'm calling in grace right now. The guides are bringing in grace. I feel Mother Mary coming in. Mary Magdalene, the Lemurian grandmothers. They were all very present and supportive in Shasta this week. Receive that grace with one nice deep breath and full relaxation of the body. You can vocalize on the exhale. It's really good for you. All right, so now let's receive the courage. Focus on the solar plexus, your inner sun. Imagine that beaming out, bright yellow energy, 360 degrees. And just tune in, feel, be present with your body as that activation is happening. It's happening even if you can't feel it. Those of you who can feel it, bring your awareness to it more as you'll amplify it for the group. And thank you for those of you who are my feelers here, helping to hold that space. I can feel you. Good, receive that courage with a nice deep breath in. Relaxing the body, exhaling. Excellent. All right, good work. All right, let's dive back in and see what else is going on here. All right, Angelica Rose. Hi, Emily. I'm trying to achieve something on a higher level as far as healing. I have been wanting to travel. Do you have a place where I need to go to achieve this? Yeah, Shasta. Shasta it's where I've been all week, and the guide that takes me and my people into Mount Shasta, and I also brought him in as part of the documentary experience, which I'll be talking more about as I do some lives as this week is unfolding. I really just want to show up and be in the energy, because I can get caught telling stories. Hang on, let me move my... See right there, back in the back, you can see where the crack of my curtain's open, and I don't like that. There we go. That's better. Because, I could get lost in the storytelling, and there are just tremendous stories to tell. I had ET contact with ships. I had contact with a realm that actually none of the high-level visionaries and shaman and medicine people in Shasta, I asked them, I actually got some of it recorded on video. I asked them, I said, that's a new energy, new elementals coming in. So excited to share more as the week unfolds. But again, just wanted to really just share medicine and space here with you all today. So Angelica, yeah, I would definitely check out Mount Shasta. The guide Paul that takes, again, me and my people into the mountain, his name is Paula Venus. And if you followed my timeline, you'll see some pictures of him. I actually brought him into this documentary experience too, with the crystal skulls, and he was our leader on the mountain. I felt so proud, by the way. The documentary film crew and the team of visionaries were just like, Paul, you're so amazing, because he is. He's so freaking phenomenal. But here's how Paul got to do what he does now. And Paul and his brother were part of a really popular band. I don't know exactly what genre. Rock to alternative-ish. Probably in the 90s and the 2000s. And then Paul was electrocuted and blew up his internal organs. He and his brother sold over their rights to the band. The band went on, and then Paul dove into a massive healing journey that was in front of him that he did in Mount Shasta. And there are incredible stories of physical and emotional healing that happen here because of the piezoelectric energy, because of honestly, Angelica and everybody else, the energy that you've left behind in that location of Shasta. So Shasta, the mountain in and of itself, is a giant granite crystal, creates piezoelectric energy, which cuts through the physical dimensional veils or how we experience our physical reality. Basically, that's why you have all of the interdimensional contact there, because the energy is so high that the veils are very thin. And Shasta is not only a gathering place of the ascended masters, but it's also the refugees of ancient Lemuria. And this comes from a golden era on our planet where we all had access to perfect self-healing. And we've encoded and left knowledge and information behind for ourselves, specifically in that mountain. So those codes and that knowledge and understanding can be reactivated for you in places like that. And it's so freaking cool. So Angelica, you're very, very welcome. Let me just bring through a transmission, just energy directly from the mountain. This is just coming in through the heart space. I want you to all imagine a crystalline tube of light connecting you down into Mother Earth, into Father Sky. And just receive this through your heart space. Imagine breathing through your heart. This energy is grounding, it's healing. It receives you right where you are and witnesses. I'm trying to do a powerful activation here. My camera keeps tilting over there and showing you all that crack. I don't like that. All right, back to the mountain. Feel this with your heart. Breathe it in. She meets you, Shasta, this mountain, meets you right where you are. Any challenge that you have right now, just surrender to the mountain. Thank you, Clementine, for the commentary. And then any activation that you want to call in, any higher level skills that you want to call in. If there's any one of your particular clairsenses, for example, maybe clairvoyance, we talked about a little bit earlier today, of that ability to see and to have vision with your inner awareness. Any of you, maybe that's feeling just like, yep, that's it, call it in. Okay, so with this one, I want you to imagine breathing with the third eye. Just close your eyes and imagine yourself breathing that third eye, inhaling and exhaling through the third eye. Imagine that you're just breathing in all of that pristine energy from Mount Shasta. It's about sunset right now. See if you can tune in and get to that pastel color of the clouds, that golden light, imagining yourself there on the mountain. Each one of you who are watching right now are so connected to that mountain, whether you're watching now or on the replay. Trust me, the mountain finds her way to speak to you, and this is it. Some of you, I can feel rejoicing. You're like, yes, I've always felt a connection to Shasta. And some of you are going to go do some Googling after this. And you're going to begin to uncover a beautiful story that you're a part of. I want to call in that the last bit of this activation for the vision is just call in blessing and the ability for each one of you to be able to see yourself as part of a bigger story, to know yourself outside of the framework of your humanness. Sometimes we just feel like life gets mundane. I'm just a da-da-da from da-da-da. Trust me, it always feels like that to a certain degree. There's a harmonic resonance that you always want to hold, that it's going to keep you grounded. But it doesn't really ever go away. I'm speaking from the experience that I've had of moving up and down the ladder of celebrity and impact. For those of you who don't know my story, I was a Hollywood actress for 20 years before I did this work. Lots of opportunity opening and presenting for me as I step into my mission more. I've had the privilege of speaking at Harvard University. I'll speak at Columbia this year. And you still always feel like, well, let me just upgrade myself and own that. I still always feel like Emily. But I've learned to see myself as a part of the bigger story. And I want to give you guys the gift, the permission, whatever that looks like for you. If this is landing, send me some love like hearts across the screen, please. Good. Finishing up the last part of that activation. Again, the ability to see yourself as a bigger part of the story. All right, I'm going to go in and grab one more question. All right, Tracy Hoover, what do I need to do and heal so that I can move to the next level of my journey? There's ancestral energy that's coming up really powerfully for you, Tracy. Let me know if you're still here. Things with your parents in this life, but also it's bigger ancestry that feels like it needs shifting and healing for you. And there is a lot of that energy, like I talked about before, getting big. I feel like that might have been for you. Yes, you're feeling that. And a lot of people here in the space, right? But definitely that their guides are bringing back like, yep, you're in a space of that, ready to, quantum big. So I would look for any areas where you subconsciously took on a belief system as a child of playing big wasn't safe. And forgiveness is really, like, it's as easy as, oh, you work, this might be a new skill coming online for you, or this might be confirming a way that you already work, but color alchemy is huge for you, Tracy. Huge. And so easy to work with too, by the way. Yeah, but just going in and creating medicine around any area where you feel like you can find those false belief systems. And then just, what is that? Color alchemy, basically just calling in a color to shift a frequency. Just intuitively doing it. So, for example, let's just say, oh, you found like a heart area. You're like, oh, I found a heart wall. I want to heal that. And you close your eyes and just call in a color frequency. Now, normally, green is the color of the heart. So, the first thing that you'll do, and this is for anybody who wants to work with either color therapy or some other thing that you feel like you're making up, but you're not really. Trust me, you're a master at it. You just got to play with it this way, okay? You got to create a lexicon or a common language or an agreed upon communication between you and whatever the consciousness of that medicine is that's coming in. So for you, the consciousness of the medicine in the color, you want to create an ability to communicate with it. So so here's an example. We'll all do this with our bodies right now. So I want you to sit or stand up nice and straight with the body. Okay, and we're basically just going to turn our bodies into a pendulum. So take a nice few deep breaths. Get yourself really anchored. If you're sitting, make sure that you're like on all four corners of your butt. If you're standing, be on all four corners of your feet. I'm just going to place my hands on my knees here and then ask my body, okay, body, show me a yes. I'm going to just sit very still until my body begins to calibrate and move in a direction. Come on, body. It's like faking an orgasm. I'm not going to fake it, but it's really not moving yet. All right. I don't fake orgasms. Who does that? Okay, body, show me a yes. All right, now I'm authentically feeling the lean. Normally, I lean forward and a little bit to the right. Today, I just kind of went bonk over to the right. Are you guys feeling it? Tap in what you felt when you tapped into your body. What did your body show you when you said a show me yes? Hi, little birdie. Got a little bird visitor on the window. Okay. And now recalibrate, balance back into your all four corners, and have your body show me no. My body goes back and leans away. Yeah, swaying. Yep, that's a no. Tracy, side to side. Cool. Okay, so basically what we just did there was we created an agreed upon communication. I use the word calibrating in the body, but I like, for the purpose of this, we are creating an agreed upon communication with the consciousness of the body, okay? If we're doing it with color alchemy, we're going to begin to create an agreed upon communication with the consciousness of the color alchemy. So heart is generally green. That doesn't mean that if you're working with color alchemy that you automatically bring in green. You're going to have to figure out how you work with it. So intuitively, if you know that you got a heart wall and you need some color alchemy, just call in a color. And it could be a color that might balance the green. It could be a color that is healing some other aspect of the heart. Who knows what it is? It could be the green coming in. But you just begin to play with Swen. You like that? That's cool. Thank you for letting me know you're receiving that. Yes. Because this is, and to go back to Jacine's very first question about the next steps of how do we as light workers and visionaries and healers and wisdom keepers show up in the next expression of our vision. It really has to do with taking our personal experience and creating personal medicine. And so in order to do this, figuring out something like how you specifically work with color alchemy becomes your signature path. And that's really, really important. It's important that we put our signatures on our knowledge, is what the guides are saying right now. All right. All right, so let's do, since throat is communication, and throat, obviously, as we're doing this work and we're visionaries, being expressed, communicating in a way that people understand and it's landing is so important. If you've had that experience here, again, send me some love, likes, hearts across the screen. This is something that comes from working in the higher realms and keeping your vibrational frequency high, as you will cultivate a baseline frequency where you're very self-expressed and people get what the fuck you're saying. Pardon my French. It feels good. Hasn't always been this way. It's taken leaning in and taking cultivating confidence and skill and keeping the vibrational frequency of my own being high, which I do by regular meditation in the records, by teaching, by training, by helping others tap into, like, I've discovered what my unique genius is that I reverse engineer dream timelines, dream life timelines. It's why I lived a dream life timeline. That was a little karate chop there, wasn't it? I meant to be more fluid. I believe that we're living many lifetimes in this lifetime. I feel like my lifetime, or my career, the 20 years that I spent in Hollywood, it really feels like another lifetime. However, I was cultivating genius and skill that is re-expressing now in a higher octave as I keep my vibrational frequency high and continue to do my work. All right, but it's like we're living. I lived a previous lifetime, and now it feels like this is the new expression of the new lifetime. I was going somewhere else with that. I thought if I rambled for a minute, I'd get it back, but I don't think I really did. I'll just be honest with you there. It's too late in the afternoon to drink iced tea, Emily. That's all I can say. I learned to do a good drunk. What can I say? That's how I feel. I had great acting teachers. Those are called impediments. When you can do a limp as an impediment. You can do a slur like a drunk girl. All right. Any other impediments you want to see? Any other knowledge we need dropping in before we wrap up here today? Any other entertainment I can provide to you? Oh, yeah. I'll just... Oh, yes. Now I'm bringing it full circle. Thank you. Well, one of my areas of genius is reverse engineering your dream timeline, your dream life. That's what I did in the first part of my life when being a Hollywood actress was my dream. I experienced that. And then I began to experience things that were even more magical than Hollywood, and I began creating Hollywood in real life. For example, taking the most mysterious artifact on the planet, the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull, the crystalline skull. I didn't personally take it into Shasta. Bill took it into Shasta. Bill is the keeper of the skull. But I had a beautiful experience reconnecting with this living conscious being that we've all worked with before in Atlantis, in Lemuria. I'm really excited. You guys want to know a secret? I'll tell you one little secret if you just blast me some more hearts across the screen. I'm not seeing them come up. I'm quite sure you're doing it. I know you're doing it. I'm not seeing them come up, though. Bill and the Crystal Skull are going to be traveling with me in the Akashic Academy on our retreats. The first one will be in Mount Shasta over Lionsgate. If any of you are watching this and you're not already registered for that, space is incredibly limited right now. There's like this much space left if you want to go. I'm excited to talk about it. However, I know that there's going to be a waiting list out the door as soon as I begin to open up this opportunity. But I don't know, Spirit, gave me a little nudge, told me I had to tell you. So if anyone is interested in that, you got to reach out to me personally, not here on the comment section, but send me a private message and I'll get you more information about what's going on in Shasta. But that's like my unique area of gifting. So when people come to me and they learn to read the Akashic Records and they begin to see what their unique area of genius is, we strip away all of the world of limited possibility. We stay in the space of unlimited possibility and we reverse engineer that shit because that's possible and easy and fun to do in the space of the record. So for those of you who feel like maybe you've been called into this space to hear this message today and to take that deeper dive, we can have a discussion about it. This is really, it's very soul aligned work. It's not for everybody. And there are a lot of people who do get really excited about diving in. And again, it's soul aligned work. If you want to have a connection call with me to see if this is the aligned time for you to dive in, I would love to have that time with you. But you got to reach out to me. Send me private messages, okay? Not comments here, either on the Academy page or Emily Harrison. You can send them to my private profile here as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I'm going to go take a sunset walk. I would just like everybody who's here, before we wrap up, type in one thing that you, just one area in your life where you would like more grace. And I'm going to hold all of this energy with me as I walk and just create the space for grace. Okay? All of you, type that in. Where can we call forward more grace for you in your life? And let's just close by a few deep breaths here together. Okay? Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. We let our breath bring us into this sacred space together. We follow the breath into presence. Let the breath take you out, cultivating, keeping this presence as you go about the rest of your evening, the rest of your day. The world is shifting and changing rapidly. I'm proud of each of you for how you're showing up, for how you're receiving the energy and allowing it to move things in your life, because it doesn't always feel easy or good or comfortable. And I see you doing the work. Namaste, everybody. I'll see you back here again soon.